Day 2 at Coorg. Actually, it was fun. Rather than my messy two plans, Kritika was well organized. She had everything in place. All I had to do was to carry her camera bag around. When you get an entire trip for free, it's okay to carry some weights, right? Our first destination was a Buddhist monastery. With all those akusatus and all, it was actually peaceful there. Kritika had some special permission to cover the private regions of the monastery. So she went inside and I was left alone. I was casually exploring the place and was really impressed with the architecture. As I was wandering around, Kritika came back. We went to have a coffee. It's really beautiful inside. People should get to see those places also, especially the chambers where the monks meditate. Even I felt a vibe in there, she said. Uh, what do you mean by even you? Are you an atheist? I asked. She took a sip out of the cup and asked, does that matter? No, not really. Felt a bit curious, that's all. I said and smiled. We went on talking about some stuff and decided to head to our next destination. Our next destination was Dubare Elephant Camp. I was not looking forward to go there really. I don't like the way Indians treat their elephants, especially the hoary stuff. Someone who is supposed to enjoy the forest and its freedom is chained up and made to do some ridiculous stuff. But what to do? It's not like I have a say in it. So I just went for it. The camp was in a delta. We had to cross the river by foot. It was kind of dangerous, but exciting as well. Kritika was crossing it as if it was nothing. I guess she has been to really tough places, maybe. As I was crossing, I saw a family struggling to cross the river, and their attitude was the complete opposite of Kritika. I went to them and offered a helping hand. They were more than happy to hear that. I lifted the kid and placed him on my shoulder. Suddenly, some good old memories flashed through my mind. When I was a child, this is how my dad used to carry me around. The kid was really smart. As soon as he sat on my shoulders, he took a firm grip on my hair and started to tease his parents who were behind us. As I moved forward, I could see Kritika searching for me. I called out to her and waved my hand. When I reached the other side, Kritika took a photo of us and helped him to get down. The family thanked me and went on. You look cute with that kid, she said and teased me. I smiled and we went into the camp. As we walked in, Kritika said, I have actually been assigned to capture the beauty of Coorg, but this place is actually a house of horror, making the tuskers carry people around with a weak back. They are being tortured, and even the food. Their body is designed to eat grass and other things that are more close to the ground rather than high up in the air. I was actually happy to hear that. To meet someone with my same thoughts is really great. I agreed with her and started to talk more about this as we walked. She was taking photos and showed them to me. Now and then asked for my opinion as well. After a long walk, we sat under a tree to rest. Under the bright red gulmohar, both of us sat without uttering a single word. We were lost in our thoughts. Suddenly, she jumped and ran. I was confused. Kritika, what is it? I asked as I ran behind her. You idiot! She shouted. Go and sit there. I need something in the frame, she added. I was furious. She really scared the shit out of me. I thought there was a snake or something else. I took a deep breath to catch myself and said, next time, when you see a frame, kindly consider others too. You know, people usually get scared if someone starts to run all of a sudden. I said calmly. She apologized and said, Mr. Aaron, Can you please sit under the tree and be my model? I laughed and went and sat there. She took some snaps. It was already evening, so we headed back. Back to the hotel, or are there any other plans? I asked as we rode back. Well, let's enjoy the night without the camera, she said. We went to her hotel where she left her camera and stuff and we headed back to the town. It was actually around 6 or 7. The sun was still there, but was so low on energy. We walked through the streets of Kur munching on anything we can find. As we were walking, Kritika pointed out to her family and said, our society need to change a lot. Look how the guy is walking freely and that lady is carrying a child in her arms on one side and holding the hands with the other child on the other. Our generation may make a difference, I said. She faintly smiled and we continued to walk. I was getting more and more comfortable with her. In each moment we spent together, I was happy. Are you enjoying spending time with me? I asked. "Mm, to be frank, you are a good company to have around," she said and smiled.